Hey guys, welcome back to Hendrickson Family Farm. In today's video, I am going to be putting a water pump on a 2009 Ram 2500 with the 6.7 Cummins in it. I did just get the transfer case put back in. Here's the remnants of the transfer case there. I went to drive it after I got the transfer case all put back in, going down the road, and it started squealing really bad. Come home and I found that the water pump is bad. Whenever you have it running, if you look down on the passenger side, you can see the water pump down there, and the belt will be running true, and then all of a sudden it'll jerk over and it'll try to walk off your pump. That's because your pump bearings are bad. Apparently what I have discovered that the water pumps on the 6.7 Cummins are the weak point of the motor, just by looking up all the information that I have found on it. So we're going to get the fluid drained out of it. This is the fluid here that I bought to put back in it. I just bought a Duralast water pump, and that's what I'm going to put back in. This is the one with the lifetime warranty. There's two different ones, one with the plastic impeller and then one with the metal impeller. And I bought the one with the metal impeller with the lifetime warranty because if I have this problem again, I do want them just to replace it and not have to worry about buying it again. So I bought it at AutoZone, and it was $82 for the water pump. The fluid that I bought is for the antifreeze. This is what I bought because this is what I generally try to put in this truck. And it is not already pre-diluted, so you have to mix it 50-50, so one of these gallons to another gallon, and then you put it in the truck. And then it takes 2.5, so I bought 3. It was $59 for all of the fluid, $82 ended up being $90 with tax and everything for our local tax here. Thanks, Oklahoma, for that. You want to get a bucket to drain your coolant into, antifreeze, whatever you want to call it. And I'll get underneath there and I will show you where it comes out of. On the 4-wheel drive models, you can just set the bucket directly underneath the truck there. It'll fit that way. On the 2-wheel drive models, you'll have to kind of raise it up a little bit. We need tools. Luckily, I was a mechanic for a really long time, so I have all the tools needed to do these jobs. So we're directly under the truck. This is the driver's side of the truck here, and this is the drain to drain the fluid. And now you just let it drain. Another thing, after you open that up down there, you want to come up here to the radiator cap, open it up so it's getting air and it'll drain a little faster. So another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take off my air filter completely, the housing. It's just an aftermarket cold air intake or something along those lines. It's like a K&N air filter. But I'm gonna take this housing out of the way so I can reach down to it. I'm honestly hoping I can get it off without having to pull the fan shroud. Now, I don't know if I'll be able to, but I'm gonna try. Because if I have to pull the fan shroud, it's gonna take an extra hour or more to do. and I really don't want to do that. And with that off, you get a whole lot more room to get, the water pump's just right behind this belt. It's the one right there that you see, that's the water pump. So we're going to, I'm gonna have to go get Landon because I'll have to get underneath the truck, torque the belt tensioner, and then Landon's just going to pull it right off of that right there so I get the belt out of the way. Now, I know everybody's not a professional mechanic. They're not gonna have name brand Snap-on tools with the extra extensions and stuff like that. So this is just a standard deep socket, but I just needed an inch extension. So with Snap-on, I was able to, when you buy a set of extensions, you can get all the sizes. And I was a professional mechanic for quite a few years until I started doing what I do now. So that's why I have these. You don't have to have Snap-on tools to work on something. There's a lot of people I know, whenever I am working on something, I pull up and I'm sitting there using Snap-on tools and stuff, and then they're like, well, do I have to have that? And it's like, no, you don't. You can do it with regular Craftsman, Cobalt, any tools. Snap-on was just convenient for me working in the automotive and heavy equipment industry. They came to me all the time. If I needed something, they'd come to me and they'd bring me a ratchet, or if I broke a socket, they'd bring it to me. Now it's kind of a pain when I need something replaced. I have 2 ratchets over there that I need replaced. And now I have to find a Snap-on guy to get them replaced instead of being able to go to the store. And the only reason why I switched to this ratchet is it's a fine tooth, so it doesn't take much. It's like literally, it just clicked. I mean, it doesn't take much with this ratchet. That's why I switched to it. It's not made to break stuff loose though. And with Snap-on and Mac or any of the other ones, you invested a lot of money in tools whenever you buy them, and for people to do stuff themselves, which I recommend, because it saves you so much money if you can learn how to change a water pump yourself or put a transfer case in by yourself. Go buy the cheaper tools. See if you even want to have the ambition to change it yourself. Ooh, that sucker's a little tighter than what I thought. I thought it was finger tight. It is not. Yeah, another thing that a lot of people don't take into consideration is, well, they do, and that's their biggest thing is, oh, I can't get my hand to fit in there. Guys, there's a lot of things, a lot of the times I'm working on something where someone says they can't get their hands in there, and if I can get my big old meaty hands in there and arm, it's doing something. Yeah, I might get a little scratch or cut on my hand or something like that, but it saved me $5,000 putting that transfer case in by myself. So there are huge benefits of it. So my battery died, had to go get another battery. I did go ahead and get it in place in there. I'll try to get you guys in where you can see a little bit better. The new one is right there. Yeah, you can just see part of it right there. I had it 3/4 of the way stabbed in there. I hope that footage saved of me getting it in there. I don't know if it did or not, but anyway, so it's the same as pulling it out. You just kind of have to fish it through that one spot right here, and there's enough room. It comes in and out really easy. On the gasket, if it didn't save, just so you know, I put a little dab of grease on the inside of the housing itself, just enough to hold the gasket in place, because it did want to keep falling out. So I just a little dab of just regular grease. It really helps, like, kind of glue it in place. Anytime you have a seal, grease will hold it pretty good, as long as it's not like a head gasket or anything like that. Just a rubber gasket, it will hold it in place really well, as long as you don't, you know, fill the whole cavity up and then try to put it in there. Just a little dabs, just to kind of make it sticky. Just snug them both first and then tighten. Don't over tighten one side and then come back to the other side and tighten. So we're just snugging both sides. Now, I'm sure there is a torque value on this. You can probably look it up on Dodge's website. I'm not going to. They were pretty snug though. I can't even hardly see with the camera in there. All the other pulleys felt good. And that is how you get it back on from the top. You just gotta make sure all your pulleys are in the grooves, they didn't pop off, because you will tear a belt up really fast. And we do not want to tear a belt up. Belts are expensive. And this belt was just replaced not too long ago. So I'm just checking everything now with the flashlight, make sure all the belts are on the pulleys good, they didn't pop off, and they look like they're going to be perfectly fine. Oh yeah. Now we'll go ahead and put the air box on. Unfortunately, ow, that hurt. I'm gonna put the air filter in while I got that deal back. It'll make it a little easier to get it in place, because it is a tight fit to get that filter in. So this vent, when we go to fill it up, we'll have to pull this vent out, and that's to fill your coolant up. Now, I hope you guys are keeping an eye back there on that for me, so to tell me when it's full, because the way that I'm standing here, you can't see it. So if you buy this pre-diluted, you don't have to worry about mixing it like I'm mixing it. But it's more expensive to do it that way, because it's about the same price per gallon as it is if you buy concentrated. So then you're just using your water there at your house, or just buying distilled water, which I would recommend is buying distilled water. Woo! Looks like she's full, huh? There must have been a little air in it. Oh, there it is. Now we're gonna start it and let it warm up and cycle a couple times, and then we'll let it cool back off, and then we'll check that as we're letting it cool back off. I'll show you guys what the transfer case looks like since I didn't film it. I'll just crawl under there real fast for you guys and show you. So there's the brand new transfer case. And then I had to get a new shifter, electric shifter, and then I got it plugged in. I don't have the front drive shaft in right now because I wanted to test it for a little bit before I did go ahead and put the new because I had to order a new front drive shaft as well, and I just wanted to drive it for a little bit before I did anything like that. And then there's the new shifter cable and bracket that did get bent from the front drive shaft slapping it, and like there again, there's that. And then had to put the drive shaft in. Landon and I, it went in pretty easy after we went and got a transmission jack. But it was a pretty fun experience with Landon putting the transfer case in, because it's something that he needs to know how to do. Whether he ever does it himself, that's irrelevant. It's just doing it is what I think is pretty fun. So I taught him how to do that. He was out here for a little bit doing the water pump with me. But he was at a church lock-in last night, and they were up for I think he said he went to bed at 3 in the morning. So I didn't have him stay out here. I told him to go in and go to bed because we have to go to a dinner at my sister's house here in just a minute. Another important note to think about is you can't just drain your coolant right onto the ground. It's very harmful to animals. It will kill them quicker than just about anything I've ever seen. And 2, you don't want to lay in all of the coolant while you're down there working. So you want to kind of pick up after it yourself. And like I drained it all in a 5-gallon bucket, and then I did it on what little bit did come out. It came on the board here. But I did turn the board over so the animals and pets can't be licking on coolant. And I keep 5-gallon buckets around here that I use, like this one right here is a hydraulic bucket, and that's actually where the coolant is that I have, and I'll dispose of it safely. You can actually take it into Napa, O'Reilly's. I think AutoZone used to do it. I don't know if they still do. But you can take it in there and they'll take it for free, dispose of it. Or a lot of shops you go to, a lot of them, or you can go to them and be like, hey, I got used oil or used coolant or anything, any fluids like that. And they'll take them and dispose of them for free. So that's one thing to keep in mind. That's gonna be it for the video, guys. I appreciate your time, and we'll catch you on the next one.